All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're digging into a piece of tech that's pretty much set to make static API docs obsolete. It's called the MCP Playground. And trust me, it's completely changing the way we test, evaluate, and even sell software.
You've been there, right? Whether you're a developer or a product manager trying to scope out a new tool, you're staring at this wall of text, dense, static documentation, just trying to get a feel for how an API actually behaves. It's slow, it can be super frustrating, and it's all just abstract. So what's the alternative? Well, we're seeing a move away from that slow, confusing world into something that's intuitive, fast, and totally interactive. Instead of trying to learn in a vacuum, you're getting real-time feedback. This isn't just the small step up, it's the difference between reading a car's instruction manual and actually getting behind the wheel for a test drive.
And the technology that's really driving this shift, it's the MCP Playground. So let's break down what that actually means.
Okay, so it all starts with this foundation called MCP, which stands for Model Context Protocol. The easiest way to think about it is like a universal language, a standard that lets an AI talk to any external tool out there, a database, another API, you name it. It's the essential bridge that lets an AI step outside of its pre-trained knowledge and actually interact with the live current world.
The MCP Playground, then, is where you actually get to use that bridge. It's this cool interactive space where you can just chat with an API, you can test it, poke it, see what it does in real time, all without writing a single line of setup code or configuring a complex environment.
And the reason it's totally risk-free is because of the MCP sandbox. This is the secure bubble where everything happens. It uses mock data and has safety limits built in, so you can go wild and experiment with the API's full power without any of those DevOps headaches or, the fear that you might accidentally break something in production.
Okay, so that's the theory. But what does this actually look and feel like in the real world? Let's jump into a few examples to see what's possible.
First up, GitHub. We all know GitHub. It's this massive, incredibly powerful platform for developers. An MCP server for GitHub basically transforms that entire complex API into a simple conversational tool.
And just look at the complexity of what you can ask it to do. We're not talking simple queries here. You can create new repos, manage pull requests with specific reviewers, or even trigger an entire deployment workflow. These are tasks that normally involve multiple clicks, commands, and context switching, all boiled down into a single natural language sentence. It's incredibly powerful.
Now let's switch gears to another huge ecosystem, Hugging Face. An MCP server here connects you, conversationally, to over 1 million machine learning models and 250,000 datasets. The scale of this is it's mind-boggling, really.
And just check out the sheer variety of things you can do. On one hand, you can perform some seriously deep research, finding specific models or data sets that match really complex criteria. But then, you can also tap into its creative side, generating detailed images from a text prompt, or transforming a photo into a completely different art style. It's like having a world-class research assistant and a creative director rolled into one.
For our third example, let's look at Tavily. This is an AI-first search engine, and it's built for something called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG. Now that's just a fancy term for a simple idea. It lets the AI search the web for the latest, most up-to-date information before it gives you an answer. This makes its responses way more accurate and relevant.
And with Tavily, the real power is in the precision. You can ask for news from just the last 7 days. You can limit your search to specific websites like academic archives. You can tell it to pull the full text from a list of URLs, or even crawl an entire website for you. You're basically giving the AI a superpower for focused, deep research.
So after all that, you're probably thinking this must be a nightmare to set up, right? Well, it's actually shockingly simple. It's basically 3 steps. You connect your API, you can add some mock data if you want, and then you just share a link or embed the widget. That's it. You can literally go from having a complex API to a fully interactive playground in minutes.
And this is where the story gets really interesting. Because while this technology is obviously a dream for developers, its impact goes way, way beyond the engineering team. This is a business tool, through and through.
This is where you see the business impact light up. Just think about a sales call. Instead of clicking through a PowerPoint, imagine letting your prospect, whether they're the CTO or a non-technical project manager, just talk to your API. They see what it does, they understand its value, in minutes. It completely bridges that gap between the buyer and the developer and makes your product instantly tangible. It's a game changer for sales.
And it's not just for closing deals. Imagine you're on the product team.
With a Playground, you get a direct, live feed of what your potential customers are trying to do with your API. You can see exactly what they're looking for, where they're getting stuck, what features get them excited. That's not a survey you send out months later. That's real-time, actionable feedback that can help you iterate and improve your product at lightning speed. And yes, this is absolutely ready for prime time. For any large company wondering about security, data privacy, or reliability, the answers are all there. It can be self-hosted on your own infrastructure or run in the cloud. It's GDPR compliant. It's built for high uptime and comes with dedicated support. It's enterprise-grade from the ground up. So when you pull all of this together, you start to realize we're not just talking about a better way to write documentation. We're looking at a fundamental shift in how we work. We're moving away from a world of just passively consuming static information towards one of dynamic, real-time interaction with all of our digital tools. And I think this quote just nails the whole idea. Turn curiosity into successful integrations. That's the entire point. It's about taking that initial spark of interest that a user has and seamlessly, frictionlessly, guiding them all the way to a successful integration. It closes the gap between what does this do and, wow, I'm already using it. So, I'll leave you with this final thought. What if every single digital tool you used had its own interactive playground? Forget the manuals, forget the endless docs. Just imagine how much faster we could all learn, build, and create new things if we could simply talk to our tools. What would you build first?